Welcome to the Comedy Punch channel, you freaky funsters. Now my name's Andy, and over the next few minutes I've made it my mission to see if I can make you laugh by telling jokes. Now I'm not going to say I'll succeed, because not everybody's sense of humour is the same, but I'm going to give it a go. So let's get started. I'm going to tell you a few jokes now in the next few minutes, and hopefully one of them will make you laugh. It's just my way of trying to get us all through this pandemic lockdown. So without further ado, let's start with the first joke. There's an 85-year-old guy, and he goes to his doctors to have a full checkup. It's not that he's feeling unwell, he's just 85. So the doctor does all the full workups. Takes urine sample, stool sample, blood sample, checks his heart, his lungs, everything else. And then he hands him a little sample jar and says, I'm going to need you to provide me with a sperm sample. And the 85-year-old guy goes, really, doctor? Well, I'll see what I can do. He puts the jar in his pocket and off home he goes. A few days later he comes back to the doctors and he hands him the jar and it's empty. And the doctor feels a little bit embarrassed for the old boy, thinking, he said, no good, eh? And the old boy goes, well, I tried everything, doctor. I used my right hand and that were no good. I tried my left hand and, well, that was worse than my right hand. Well, I called in the wife and she tried her right hand and, well, no, it was no good, doctor. So she tried it with her left hand and, oh no. Well, she tried it with her mouth, with teeth in, and tried it with teeth out, but it was no good. So we called the next door neighbour lass in, and she came in because she's younger and fitter and thought maybe she'd have more luck. Well, she tried with her right hand and left hand and no, it was no good, doctor, and she even tried it between her thighs, but no, it was no good, doctor. We just couldn't get the lid off the jar. I know what you were all thinking, you dirty-minded devils. But when I first heard that joke, I was thinking exactly the same. So let's carry on. There are two men and a woman who've applied to become MI8s. Yeah, you'll have heard of MI6 and MI7, but MI8 is where the real action happens. And they've applied to be MI8's latest assassins, the real James Bonds, if you will. So they've gone through all of the intense training. They've done all the physicals, learning guns and knives and poisons, everything else, long shots, the lot, keeping physically fit, hand-to-hand combat. They've gone through it all and they've whittled it down to these two men and this one woman. So it comes to the final test. They can only have one. So they get them in, and one by one, the first man walks into a room, and this instructor says to him, he says, points to a door, he says, behind that door is a threat to national security. We want you to go in there with this gun, and he hands him the gun, and eliminate the threat. And the guy says, yes sir, you can count on me. He walks over to this door, opens it, walks in, and it's silent. And a few minutes later he comes out and he's sobbing his heart out. He says, I can't do it. That was my wife in there. And he goes, yes, it was, but you were still instructed to kill her. He goes, I can't kill her, that's my wife, I love her, and no, I can't do it. And he hands the gun back. He goes, then you're no good for this job, just leave. Call the second guy in, give him the same speech. In that room is a threat to national security. We want you to go in there and eliminate it. Give him the gun. He walks in, he comes storming back out after seconds. He goes, "What the hell do you think you're playing at? That's my wife in there. She's no threat to..." I said, "Hold on. You weren't asked for your opinion. You were told to complete a mission. Clearly you're not the man for the job. Now leave." Takes the gun back off him. So then they pull the woman in. She's looking a little bit nervous and said, "Behind that door is a threat to national security, and we need you to eliminate that threat." Hands her the gun, and says, "Off you go." She walks in through the door. Well, a few minutes have gone by and there's nothing, no sound, nothing. And then they hear bang, bang, bang. Then all of a sudden they're screaming and shouting and banging and bumping about and noise and all sorts goes on. And she steps back out of the room into the room, staggers. She's got blood all over, and she goes, "What the hell do you think you're playing at? Some silly sod put blanks in this gun. I had to beat him to death with it." It looks like they found their assassin. You know, there's a lot going on in the world at the moment with this pandemic, and most people are in lockdowns, except for those doing the essential services, those that have are able to work from home. So it gives a lot of people time on their hands to brood about things, to worry about if they've even got a job to go back to when it all ends. And we don't know when it's all going to end. I'm pretty sure that we haven't seen the peak of it yet. But the measures are starting to work by the look of the figures. It does look like things are slowing down, as in infection rate. But we can only go day to day. So this is just my little way of trying to lighten the mood a little bit, because let's be honest, that's what we do as British. We find things to find funny. We laugh at situations because it's just in our makeup. We worry just like everybody else, and we have all of those things going on in our life, but generally we try and find things funny, and we try to have a laugh. So this is my way to try and give you a little bit of entertainment, hopefully, and give you a giggle. So let's carry on. There's a little kid, he's about 4-5 years old, and he's having a bath with his mum, and he's sat in the bath and she's washing him and doing his hair and everything, and he just puts his finger out and props her boob, and he goes, "Mummy, what are they?" Of course the mum doesn't want to really get into this conversation with him. He's a little bit young for that talk, so she makes something up. She goes, "They're balloons, darling." He goes, "Oh, balloons. I like balloons, Mummy." She goes, "Yes, these are special balloons." He goes, "Oh, special balloons. Why?" And she says, "Well, when a woman, a lady, when she dies, the balloons get really big and she floats up to heaven on him." And he goes, "Wow," all wide-eyed in wonder, because at that age they believe anything a mum and dad will tell them. He goes, "Wow, balloons floating up in heaven. Wow." Anyway, no more was said. They get out the bath, dry off. A few days later, the kid comes running into the kitchen. He's sobbing his socks off. He goes, "Mummy, Mummy, the maid's dying." She goes, "What are you talking about? The maid can't be dying. She's only 23 years old. There's nothing wrong with her. She can't be dying. What makes you say she's dying, sweetheart?" She goes, "Well, Daddy's blowing her balloons up and she keeps saying, 'God, I'm coming.'" And he's got some questions to answer as young Daddy. There are so many people that we need to thank for the help that they're giving everybody, to be honest with you. And they're just too many to go through. I've listed a few over the last few videos, you know, the supermarkets, the pharmacists, the doctors, the NHS, truck drivers, farmers. But that's only scratching the tip of the iceberg. There are so many who are still putting themselves, quite frankly, in danger, so that our natural infrastructure carries on working so that we can still get food and medicines and we can be allowed to stay at home and safe without fear of infection. But these people are still going to work. So when you see one of these people, if you're at the supermarket and you see one of the staff there, just thank them. It doesn't take 2 minutes and it'll make them feel better, because they're the ones really on the front line. If you go to the pharmacist, just thank them. If you go to the doctors, again, you know, it costs you nothing just to say thank you. I mean, it sounds like I'm preaching to you and telling you what to do. I'm not. I just think it'd be a nice thing to do. But you make your own choice up. And remember, there are only 10 types of people in the world. Those that understand binary code and those that don't. Now you people out there, you stay healthy, have a giggle, come back next time when I upload the next video. To do that, hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the bell icon, that way you won't miss out on future content. Leave a like, and as always, if you want to, leave a comment down below. Hey, maybe share one of your jokes. It might be a dad joke, it might be a cheesy joke, I don't care. People will read it and they'll get a laugh. So why don't you do that? As always, please stay healthy, stay home as much as you can, keep yourself locked away, keep yourself healthy. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Oh, this you crazy mother.